Tell them all this stink and dirty, stink and dirty. Viking, double M.
The friendly rivalry that people talk about between Bunji, Garlin and Machel is a rivalry that probably is significant because it's a rivalry that goes on between many artists, Sparrow and Kitchener, you know, the different heads of the time. But we have been diligently working behind the scenes, you know, to transcend rivalry, to kind of find a way to come together, to find a way to make peace, because we thought it was important as an important example for the rest of the industry, but it was also important for us. I mean, where soca music is today and where we go in, we're trying to create something on a level that will touch people globally. We're trying to share our culture, we're trying to share ourselves. And I feel the highest part of ourselves that we could share is our love. You know, our love for who we are, for self, our love for people. When we put out soca music, it's really to see people happy and having a good time and expressing love. So when Bunji and I and Fian and Che got together, and Che is my manager, Fian is Bunji's manager, we sat down months upon months talking about, you know, the coming together and what would happen. And as Bunji and I said, you know, it don't necessarily have to be about a song. We weren't trying to come together to do a song or come together to do a show. We were trying to come together for real. And I said to him, you know, even if it was us going into a community and trying to do an anti-crime drive or trying to do something where we'll help, you know, less fortunate kids, we'll do that. If the music ever happened to come, you know, so be it. We will do it. We won't try to force the music. But when the song came on the table, I think it immediately spoke that this was the song that we had to collaborate on. For the depths of what it was calling for. It was calling for us to recognize our origins. It was calling for us to recognize the challenges we're facing in society today. And it was calling for us to recognize that this might be an entry point to a lot of healing. Not just the healing between us, but the healing between, you know, young men, between men and women, between different parts of society. So I immediately picked up the phone and I was like, yo, G, we need to sit down and I need to run something by you. I say run something by you, meaning I didn't want to say, I have a song for you to hear or have a... And I'll never forget the first moment we sit down and we listen to this song together at, you know, their studio, and they're immediately seeing the song 5 seconds, 10 seconds in and seeing a smile on his face. To see a smile on his face when music playing, I know the kind of individual I'm dealing with. I know music is very dear and very serious, and it's not easy to get Garlin to smile too, you know what I mean? So I kind of felt like, yeah, this was the entry point. And the rest was basic history, because from the time he understood what this song was about, and it didn't take more than a minute, it was already something that we know we had to do.
To continue from where Machel left off, when I will start there and I just I'll backtrack a bit. When I heard this song, when we went to the studio and I heard this song, really, it really was like in the first 10 seconds or even less. It just connected with me. For a reason, I didn't actually wait to realize what the song was about. Just the atmosphere of the song, one. The way the song started and what it said. I just went with it. Not because I'm a violent person or I like violence or anything like that. But ever since growing up in listening to soca I didn't grow up, I grew up in a Pentecostal home. So the early part of my years was really, you know, like refrain from, right? And then when I started getting involved, it was just like all these things happening at the same time in my mind. Things that you never understood, you never saw, you start to see it in a different way, right? And by observing shadow and all these, I realized this music that we're dealing with in Trinidad and Tobago, as far as I am concerned, is multidimensional. We have this way of looking at not only soca, but even calypso, or even our own culture in Trinidad and Tobago, just one way. Everything must be happy, happy, happy. Everything must be wine and go down the road. Everything must be dressed up like this, look like that. And the moment you deviate from it, it's a problem, it's offensive to everyone, right? And one of the persons that always used to challenge that status quo was the Mighty Shadow, right? Carnival is color, bright, pretty mass and thing, and here you have this figure dressed in black, dark, and oftentimes with skeleton on the outfit, you know? And it's like a love-hate relationship people had with him. The music's so powerful, you have to give into it, but you're still skeptical about if to like it, because in your mind now you're thinking about, but what he represents? But he just represents another side of the music. But you know, we were taught so much that if the music doesn't look this way or doesn't sound this way, it might be offensive, or we must deem it offensive and we must refrain from it and things like that. So that is why I got attracted to this song one time, because one time, for me, it was against the grain. I always like to throw caution to the wind. Anything that's different, I'm willing to do. For the mere fact that if we have 100 artists in this business, it doesn't make sense for me that 99 artists doing the same thing and I must jump in to be the 100. I must be the one starting over the new 99, right? And as far as I'm concerned, that 99 should start chopping down to every little 5 or 2 or 3. But, you know, everyone is afraid to do something different because, again, we're afraid to be victimized, we're afraid to be laughed at, we're afraid to be all kind of thing, right? And that is my strength. And that is where I decided I say, yeah, this song, we're going with this. And the song told my story. As far as I'm concerned, the song told my story. It told his story too. But it told my story. Me coming from Wallafield, up in the bush. Of course, anyone who knows Komoto Wallafield knows a lot of stick fighters come from that area as well. But me coming from a farm and into music and being successful in music, that is my story. I really wasn't afraid to take the chance. I wasn't afraid of the naysayers. I wasn't afraid of what the media have to present, whatever the case may be. I ride through it, and I went with it. And what I went through was really just a reenactment of his story, and his story is a reenactment of the story that came before him, and the story before them, and the story before them.
We have been trying to meet for a long time. We have been meeting, even while people thinking as a rival, we will meet one another and we'll say, Bridget, everything cool, yeah, good music, and we'll go our way. But the meeting been happening, and I'm a person, I say this over and over and over, but it's not us trying to do it, it's something higher trying to do it from outside. And Che, my manager, and Faye and Che spent many hours on the phone. Like many hours on the phone talking about what the real issue really is. And then we tried to meet once, twice, you know. Sometimes these things don't happen. And somehow both of us were in St. Lucia on the same show, and we just decided that was the time to have the meeting. We went to have a little 5-minute, 10-minute, half an hour meeting that turned into about 2 or 3 hours of us just talking, the 4 of us. And we agreed that we would do something when the time is right, or when the opportunity presented itself. Right.
Well, first of all, what we agreed to in the meeting was, first of all, to just let the past be the past, let bygones be bygones, and, you know, we step forward, right? That was the first thing. And it was decided to go that way because just to be on a civil level, not on a music level, not on a creative level, not on a entertainment level, just on a, if I see you, what's good, blessing. You in trouble? Nah, I could help you. All right, cool. That, because, we're already in the world of entertainment, and all our artists collectively, we spend so much time trying to collaborate collaboratively, musically, that the real essence just gets slipped by or passed by deliberately, and we don't really care to be like friends now, you don't really care to be civil to, you know, your brother, your sister when the day come. Just let me get what I can get from you, get what I can get from me, we go on, right? And we just like, you know what, listen. That was them time, then we just proceed forward. If the situation or the situation may come up where something presents itself for us to work together, when that time come, we'll address it, right? And that the day when we decided it was really a special day because, as I say, we was in St. Lucian. Faye and she really been talking actually about a year and a half before that. I remember after the whatever on Faye and I anniversary, Faye spent more hours on the phone with she than in the room with me for my anniversary then, right? If I'm telling them, I'm talking the truth. I'm talking the truth. That's the next thing. You see the truth. So once the truth out there, we out there, right? So the truth is, you have been speaking to my wife on my anniversary more than me on that particular day, sir. Okay? And that will some way come back to haunt you in time. Right? But I mean, that in itself goes to show that even though at the time it didn't work out, while I still withdrew in myself and was like trying to figure things out, Faye still took up the mantle and was like, all right, I will try to champion this cause to see, well, what is the road we could go down to salvage, fix this, whatever. And I ain't gonna lie, she really has been a spectacular person in this whole thing, right? And Machel Che has been very, I ain't gonna lie, boss, man. Two of them, the way the two of them communicate together, I was like, look how, it's just like water works then. No hiccups, nothing, everything just runs smooth. So it just made sense that that energy just transcended off of them to us, and it just went, you know. And at the end of the day, this song is done. Yes, we hit the stage. Yes, we have future ahead of us. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, but I know in my mind that for me, where this is concerned here, the tomorrow will be a good tomorrow. No matter how it is, it will be a good tomorrow.